And now, on to the topic of bullies. Bullies can be brutal, you know that, picking on other children with no remorse. And many times, if the victims or another child try to speak out and get help, the tormenting can get even worse. And one school district is giving students a way to come forward and report the problem while remaining anonymous.
Jamie, the bullying isn't just happening in school hallways and classrooms. Here on In Focus, we've taken a deeper look at cyberbullying and the effects it could be having on your kids. Now, one group is stepping in, offering an equally advanced way to combat it. A single program with a very basic concept that for one county has gotten big results.
We have conversation after conversation of students telling us this is a lifesaver. They were at wit's end.
A lifesaver right at their fingertips.
That avenue, whether it's cyberbullying, whether it's smoking weed, or whether it's bullying on a school bus, or doing, no matter, it doesn't matter, because they can pull out their cell phone and they can send a text message at any time, even while it's going on.
It's called Text to Stop It. It's a program that allows students to report bullying with a tap of their fingers. And unlike traditional ways of reporting, they can remain anonymous. The number is given out to the students. They can not only report what they see, but the text to them employees have conversations with the kids, then pass along the information to the school's counselors and principal.
The students would then sort of feel more comfortable sharing the information. And I think that builds because then they will share with other students, you know, hey, this wasn't so bad.
Brad Engel works with Student Services in Queen Anne's County. He says Text to Them, the company behind the Text to Stop It program, came to Queen Anne's County schools proposing a pilot program.
Schools need to take the information they're getting and they need to act on it. We can't just keep hiding some of these things and saying, okay, we stopped it at its infancy. We need to set in motion and get educated from the school side of it on how we can better use the tools that are out there.
With the support of Delegate Ahrens in the school system, the pilot program eventually turned into a full-time gig.
We engage them in a conversation, we gather the information, and then we report that information to an appointed school counselor.
Since then, they've gotten tips of bullying, drugs, and in one anonymous conversation, a student said his friend was cutting and attempting to kill himself.
At 11, 12 o'clock at night, myself and the superintendent and the school principal were all sort of, communicating and trying to develop a plan of how to go forward. And, you need to do these things within minutes.
Queen Anne's County schools say it's working. This past school year, Engel says they saw a 33% drop in the number of reported official bullying incidents.
We feel it's an invaluable tool, and at this point, we feel it's very much part of our system plan.
A new way to reach the very generation that reaches out more often than not, hidden behind their cell phones.
I really feel that since we've implemented this program, we have stopped a number of incidents of bullying and perhaps saved lives. So how much is that worth?
The company hopes to expand the Text to Stop It program to other counties. They've suggested pilot programs and have been in talks with administrators, but they say budgeting always seems to be a roadblock. Queen Anne's County schools are paying about $1.25 per student for the program. Right now, Text to Stop It is in the middle and high schools, but they plan to bring on some of the elementary schools as well. They say even if kids don't have a cell phone, the program still works because many times it's friends and parents who are texting in. You can find more information on the program on our website. That's at abc2news.com/infocus.
You know, programs like this so important because the stakes are so high when it comes to bullying. Children can take the messages of their bullies to heart and not see an end to their pain. It happened to Grace McComas. The Howard County teen took her own life back in 2012 after being tormented on social media. A law named in her honor now stands in our state to hold people who bully children online accountable. Under Grace's law, cyberbullies who are convicted face up to a $500 fine and a year in prison. The law went into effect in October of 2013. And there's also this heartbreaking story. This is Matthew Burdett. Matthew, happy as you can see, well-adjusted teen attending high school out in San Diego. That is, his aunt says, until he was cyberbullied by classmates. Matthew's friends would later tell his parents a classmate recorded Matthew while he was in the bathroom at school and then posted it on Snapchat, Vine, and other social media. Matthew took his own life.
He opened the letter saying that he loved his parents. He had a wonderful life. But he said, I I can't do school anymore. I have no friends. He goes, I don't want to kill myself, but I can't do school anymore.
Well, Matthew's friends and family see Grace's law here in Maryland as a deterrent against other cyberbullies and hope to help spark similar legislation out there in California. You know, as parents, we want to find a way to protect our children and monitor whether they are being bullied online. When it comes to social media, more teens are moving off of Facebook and Twitter, with surveys showing Instagram is now taken over in popularity. The In Focus team spoke to a group of kids at the JCC to get the inside scoop on Instagram. A hashtag they say parents should watch out for is RDH. Anybody have an idea what it stands for? Rate, date, hate. And when people like the post, they're essentially asking the person to rate them, and whether they hate them or would date them. This is when Instagram could cross over into some dangerous territory.
I think people get too excited for likes or followers because I feel like they want to get a sense of popularity.
Well, child psychologist Dr. Sheridan Phillips at the University of Maryland School of Medicine says 12-year-old Michaela, right on the money.
They're saying, okay, what do you think of me? Am I dressing correctly, or how pretty am I compared with other people? And it's sort of like a social validation. It isn't always the feedback they're hoping for.
Well, Dr.
And so that can be very hurtful.
Well, Dr. Phillips says the key to helping kids handle it all in a healthy way is to make sure they know what people post online isn't always the truth.